Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're subscribed already, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We are 4 subscribers away from the 100 mark. And when we get over the 100 mark, as promised in the last video, I'm going to be giving away some pay dirt all the way from Thailand. Today's video is basically, a lot of people keep asking questions, how much does it cost to get into gold prospecting? I want to start this hobby, what's it going to cost me? So I'm basically just going to run through some of my equipment today, tell you how much it cost, where I got it from, and then you can make your own mind up as to whether you get the same sort of stuff or you research a bit more and find what else you can find. So basically, obviously the first thing you need to do when you take up this hobby is you need to research where exactly you're going to go to do your prospecting. Now, the main places are obviously Scotland, Wales, Devon, Cornwall, Lake District, Peak District, the Pennines, places like that. Okay, there are other places. To list them all would just totally bore you. It'd take me an hour. But if you go on the BGS website, again, you can find out from the research, from the, looking for the glacial tills and all this sort of stuff. And I've never done it, to be honest, because I just don't understand the geology. I don't mind admitting that. But, I do know a guy that spent 4 or 5 hours a time driving to Scotland to do some panning, then 4 or 5 hours back again, and then as soon as he hit lockdown, it was a case of he couldn't go. So he's found a local little river 2 minutes down from his house and thought, I'm just going to have a bit of a practice. There's never going to be anything in it. And he came out with quite a bit of gold from his local river that he would never ever have tried if we weren't put into lockdown and it wasn't at the bottom of his garden, basically. So you never know. Every river in the UK supposedly has gold in it. All you've got to do is find it. Okay? So once you've settled on where you're going to go, you pack your car, you drive down there. What's the first thing you're going to need? Now, depending on what you're actually going to be doing when you get there, if you're going to be just testing the banks and the edges and the inside bends of the river, you need a decent pair of wellies. Okay? If you want to go a bit further into the water and get behind all the big rocks and moving rocks and things like that, you're going to need a decent set of waders. So for a decent set of waders, your best bet realistically is probably to go on eBay. You're looking at about between 10 and 15 quid for a set. Again, you can spend 40, 50, 60 pounds on a pair. It just depends what your budget is at the time. So you've got your waders on, you've got your wellies on. How do you get the concentrates out of the water, out of the bank, into your bucket? Okay, well, first option is to buy a shovel. Now, most garden centres and a lot of other places like B&M's, Home Bargains, places like that, you can pick up a shovel these days for about a fiver, 6, 7 quid. Again, depending on how strong you want it, how big you want it. I actually use a snow shovel that I bought from Halfords. It's got a big plastic scoop on the end. It retracts and it's easy to get in the car. And it's also got a metal bar across the bottom of the plastic to stop it breaking. I also have these 2 plastic scoops, £1 each in Poundland. Okay, so I'll obviously get down into the dirt, pick them up. Good little thing to have, especially if you're in somewhere that you can't get the shovel. Another good thing to have this is a bit more money-wise, is what we call a pump, a hand pump, sluice pump. There's loads of different names for it. I got mine from that company there, J&S Prospecting. You'll find them on eBay. This one cost me about £30 3 years ago, and it's still going strong now. I haven't had to change anything, I haven't had to replace anything. It's a really good bit of kit. Obviously, you put it in the water, you put it in your gravels, you pump it up, you lift it up into your classifier, it goes. Now, talking of classifiers, 90% of people will have a classifier like this. Again, Poundland, B&M's, Home Bargains, all do these for £1 now. If you haven't got one of those shops around, your local garden centre will probably have them for about £3-4.50, that sort of price. But if you have got a Poundland, Home Bargains, B&M's, these are £1. Okay, so you've got your concentrates at your pump or your shovel into your classifier. What else? A bucket. The classifier sits on top of your bucket. All your dirt goes in there, your pebbles, your rocks. You shake it about when it's full of water, you get it all clean, throw away the bits you want, the bits you don't want even. Now remember, when you're doing the classifier and you take it out of your bucket, remember to check what's in there, because there's been a lot of people, they've thrown away the tailings they don't need in the classifier, and have lost nuggets. This country, it's not a problem, to be honest. You're not realistically going to find big nuggets in most of the places in the UK. Yes, there are some, but the chances of you finding any are, very, very remote. So you've got your pump, your shovels, your hand picks, your hand spades, classifier in your bucket. Also, that orange bucket, you're looking at 80p from B&Q. And again, if you live in an area where there are plenty of takeaways, go and visit all your takeaways. These buckets here cost me absolutely nothing, because if you can read on there, the local takeaways buy these in their 10s and 20s, full of mayonnaise and sauces and things. And when they finish with them, they just chuck them out at the back. Just knock on the back door. Do you need those buckets, mate? No, I don't need them. There you go. I've got about 20 of those buckets. I think I've got about 3 of the orange ones. I've got 6 or 7 of black ones. I've got about 30 buckets in total, because you never know when a bucket's going to break. That one there, that I've just showed you, is actually full of concentrates, or what we call tailings. Now, this is all from the River Dart in Devon. I've had a quick pan through it all. I'm keeping that now to run through my sluice, which I use in the garden with a bilge pump. Recirculates the water going through it. It just saves me when I'm at the river. I don't really like, if I'm going for the day, obviously I live in Luton, so my nearest place is Devon and Cornwall, which is 3.5 hours away. So that's 7 hours driving. I don't really want to be spending time filling buckets and then running it all through the sluice at the same time. So I like to fill my buckets up, bring them home, and then, like as now we're in lockdown, so we can't go anywhere, I've got buckets full of concentrates. I can just day by day just run a bit through the sluice just to keep me active, keep the, something to do. Talking of sluices, again, this is my first ever sluice that I bought. It is called the El Dorado. Now I can hear people in the background laughing. Stop it. It's a big sluice. Only problem with it is, because it's plastic, it's very flexible. And I don't know whether you can see on there or not, the riffles on it are very, very, very small. And I've since found out why I didn't. I thought I was doing something wrong, because I was using that and running on the concentrates to it and never finding any gold for about 6-7 months. Just nothing. And I'm on like Tindrum, people are finding gold left, right and centre. And I was using that, nothing. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I spoke to someone and said, oh, what sluice have you got? El Dorado. Well, apparently they blow out gold left, right and centre because they're that flexible. They twist when they're in the water. If you've got a really, really strong current in the river, it moves and it twists and it releases the gold back out. And it's good for using it, like say in the garden. If you've got a pump and you're running it through slowly, it's a good bit of kit. It does catch gold, but it's not ideal for on the river, unfortunately. I only paid a tenner for it when I got it. It was secondhand when I bought it for my very first sluice, so it's fine. My second sluice is a bit more bang, crash and wallop. Again, I bought this sluice from J&S Prospecting. This is just a metal aluminium sluice with, I don't know if you can see on there or not. I have to move the camera in a minute. It has proper riffled matting in it and riffles. A nice flare at the top there. Now, obviously, because it's metal, it's a lot more sturdy, and this one catches fine gold, catches flower gold, and it catches flakes as well and pickers. This cost me about £35. Again, J&S Prospecting. If you want to pause this video, their phone number's there as well. Again, eBay, they're still going strong. They've actually, this is one of the first ones they made. They have probably about 7 or 8 now, going from the 30 quid, 35 quid I paid for this, up to 70, 80, £100. You know, so I have just bought another sluice. Why 3, I hear you say? Well, I have 2 little girls who love prospecting with me. And if you look right back at the start of my YouTube channel, you'll see that they come with me every time I go prospecting. And they love getting in the water. So now I've got a new sluice and they use one of those sluices each. My new sluice, I'm not going to show you just yet because I've got, I had it made for me, and the chap that's made it for me has sent me some free gifts and things that are prototypes he's made that he wants me to review properly. So I'm just looking for the right time to do an unboxing video, show you the sluice, show you what else he's made, and then the prototype things, how they work and whether they're any good. I will make a completely different video on that. So guys, that's basically all you need to get started. The new sluice, by the way, cost me £29.99 and £5 postage. It's only 5 inches wide and it's 20 inches long, and it's called the Backpack sluice. It's got the matting again at the top, and then a riffle, and then miner's moss and some raised metal, which I'll explain more to you when I do that video. So you're looking at around, 50 quid, and I reckon you can get out and you can get started. You don't need any of this to be a prospector. All you need, you can get a normal everyday serving spoon for the kitchen. You can get any round bowl at all. As long as you stratify your material properly. If you don't know what stratifying is, go and watch Mr. Daz P Gold Rush. He is phenomenal at what he does and how he does it, and he will show you one hell of a lot more than I can show you at the moment because we're in lockdown. So like I said, guys, 50 quid, you can get yourself some decent kit. You don't have to spend that much. Like I said, you can just use basic things around the house. Pioneer Paulie once went to a river in Canada, and he had a sucker bottle for sucking up your gold, which was just a normal drinks bottle. Chris at Vogus Prospecting cut, I think it was a drain pipe or something in half. It was corrugated, and he used that as a sluice in his river. There's just so many things nowadays that you can use if you can't afford to go and buy all this equipment. So I hope that's given you a little insight into how to get started and how cheaply you can get started. These sluices, by the way, like I said, I've seen sluices on eBay for £300 and £400, which don't do any different than that does for £30, or my new one does that I spent for £29.99. It depends where you're going and how you're going to use it. This kind of river, how fast the water flow is. It shouldn't really, make that much of a difference. If you set it up properly, it should catch anything you put through it, to be honest. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and you've got a little bit of knowledge. Please give this video a thumbs up. Any questions, go in the comments, leave me a comment. I read them all. I will answer every single one. Like I said, we're 4 subscribers away, and all we need to do to get that Thailand pay dirt giveaway is to get those 4 subscribers. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you soon.